Hi, I'm Christian Bidner, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Rockwell's new standstill safety-rated monitor, the MSR55P. Before I get into some of the specs of the MSR55P, let me first of all talk to you about what this safety relay is designed to solve. So the problem is this: how do you ensure that a machine has come to a full stop before someone can enter the hazardous area? If the machine has a motor on it, like the CNC picture on the left, how do you know when it is safe to enter the work area? When is it safe to open the door and not be exposed to the hazard of that particular machine? Background: CNC machines have one or more motor on them that can turn at quite large frequencies and also have extremely high loads associated with them. When a stop command is given to these machines, power is generally cut to the motor. That does not mean, however, that the motor actually comes to a stop right away. It can sometimes take 2 or 3 minutes for the motor actually to come to a stop due to the inertia and the load that is attached to the spindles. So one method that has been used in the past is to use a safety timer to release the solenoid locking switch when the timers come to a stop. However, to use such a device, you're going to have to account for the worst case example. So who can wait 2 or more minutes every time you need to enter the work area of the machine to load, unload, or perform some kind of maintenance function? This can also be very time consuming, and as we know, time is money when it comes to producing parts. What about if you're able to sense when the motor actually has stopped turning and you take the timer element out of this? This is what the MSR55P actually does. It is a Cat4 PLE SIL3 safety module that can sense stop motion without the use of proximity sensors or encoders in the design. The device operates on 24 volt DC, 120 volt AC, or 240 volt AC. It can be used on any motors or servo up to 690 volts AC. Some competitors, for example, can only do about 500 or 550 volts, meaning that they cannot operate with 600 volt motors, which is pretty much one of the most popular voltage sizes in Canada when it comes to motors. So where can this device be used? Any machine that are using motors and have a long rundown time. For example, packaging machines, palletizers, CNC, metal turning, metal spinning. Realistically, the list goes on. The MSR55P is also split in 2 different variations. One can be used with normal motors, and the other variation can be used with servo motors. So how does this device actually work? Well, basically, it connects directly to the 3 phases of a motor. To be clear, it can also be used on single-phase devices. When a motor loses power but is still turning, it generates a small amount of voltage and current. And this is what the MSR55P senses. There's no need for proximity sensors or a complex cogwheel design to be mounted, or some type of complex encoder system with a controller. It connects directly to the 3 phases or the phases of a motor. Also, the MSR55P has an additional potentiometer that adds a timer element to the stop motion. This is used for very slow movements of a motor that do not generate enough current or voltage to be sensed. It can also act as a standalone device by directly connecting to a solenoid locking switch or in a safety PLC application for zoning or sequencing. So what are the benefits of using this device? First of all, it's a very cost-effective solution for stop motion detection. There are no proximity switches to mount, no complex cam systems to configure, no encoders to try to find space for in your existing applications. Just direct connections to the phases of the motor. Therefore, it reduces wiring and installation costs. This device is also really great for retrofit applications. There's no complex cabling to run, and this can be configured to any motor size up to 690 volts. Industry that can be used include automotive, wood, pulp, paper, metal turning. Once again, the applications are kind of endless. Anytime you have a motor with a variable load or some kind of high inertia, the MSR55P can give you a reliable stop motion detection. Additional information for the MSR55P can be found by following the link that you see here on this slide. It'll take you directly to the Rockwell website where you can download installation guides, manuals, or even CAD files. You can also visit Rockwell Automation site directly, and in the search menu, type in speed monitoring. The MSR55P will come up. I'm Christian Bidner, Safety Product Manager for Gerrie Electric. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at Gerrie. Thank you.